Listen closely. I want to unfold a story for you from my eternal scripture. But understand, this is not just a history of men long ago. No, this is a revelation of my heart for you.
So let me ask you, what is it that truly drives you? What hunger gnaws at your soul? You see, I know, I have always known. Before time even began, I knew the deepest longings of the human heart for purpose, for forgiveness, for real, abundant life itself.
And so this story begins with a famine, a great famine that I allowed to cover the land. The physical ache, you see, it was just an echo of a much deeper spiritual void. I had to let them feel that emptiness so that their hearts would finally turn to me.
Just listen to the desperation in Jacob's voice. The world's provisions were spent. They had nothing left. And that desperation, that physical need, is what forced his sons toward a destiny I had prepared long before. The ache of an empty stomach was my invitation to seek the only bread that truly satisfies.
Jacob, he was trying so hard to control his circumstances, wasn't he? Gripped by fear, he clung to Benjamin, the one son he thought he had left from his beloved Rachel. But my plan was already in motion, far, far beyond his sight, and it was designed to heal the very wounds he was so afraid to touch.
Now in Egypt, I had already placed Joseph in a position of incredible power. But that power wasn't for his own sake. No, I put him there to serve as a mirror that would force his brothers to finally see their own souls.
And look, there it is. As they bowed down, the dreams I had given Joseph so many years ago came to pass. It was a living testament that my word never, ever fails. They knelt before a powerful governor, completely unaware they were kneeling before the brother they had sold and fulfilling my sovereign decree.
Joseph spoke hard words to them, didn't he? But that wasn't human revenge speaking. Those words were from me, a divine instrument designed to break through years and years of hardened guilt. You see the irony? They had spied on their brother's dreams with envy. Now they were being called spies to force them to look inward.
Through their eyes, all they saw was a harsh, unpredictable ruler. They saw a hopeless situation. But I was orchestrating a confrontation with their past to offer them a future. I had to reveal the sickness before I could ever provide the cure.
3 days. I had Joseph put them in prison for 3 whole days. It was just a small taste of the suffering they had so easily inflicted on him. That confinement wasn't just for punishment, no, it was designed to awaken their memory, to stir their conscience in the darkness.
And soon, my test began to bear fruit. The pressure I was applying started to bring the poison of their hidden sin right to the surface.
And there it is, at last, the confession. They were speaking to one another in their own language, thinking no one could understand them, but I heard every single word. And so did Joseph. This was the turning point. The wall of denial they had built for 2 decades, it finally began to crumble.
You see, their admission of guilt was the very beginning of their restoration. And that's a principle that holds true for you today. I cannot heal a wound that you refuse to acknowledge.
Then, when they found their money returned to them, their fear turned toward me. They were right to. They finally recognized my sovereign hand moving in their lives. They began to see that this wasn't just a series of misfortunes, this was a divine appointment.
Back in Canaan, with starvation staring them in the face, Jacob's deep despair was about to meet a foreshadowing of my ultimate grace, and it would come through his son, Judah.
All Jacob could see was loss. He was convinced everything was against him. Oh, but he couldn't see the full picture. He couldn't see how I was working all these things together for the salvation of his entire house. He could only see the tangled threads, but I was weaving the tapestry.
Now listen to these words very carefully. A profound shift has just happened. This is Judah, the same son who suggested selling Joseph into slavery. And now he offers to take his brother's place. He offers to bear the blame forever. This was the change of heart I was working toward all along.
A surety, it's someone who pays a price they do not owe for someone who cannot pay. It's the ultimate act of substitutionary love.
And in Judah's promise, you see a faint echo, a shadow of the vow my own son, Jesus Christ, would one day fulfill. He became the surety for all of humanity's sin, taking upon himself the blame that you deserved, forever.
And finally, Jacob released his control. He stopped trusting in his own fear and instead trusted in me, his covenant God, El Shaddai. This act of faith, this total surrender, it was absolutely necessary for his deliverance and for the saving of his family.
So you see, this ancient story, it's not just history. It's my pattern of redemption, laid bare for you to see. It is your story, written before time began.
The path the brothers walked is the exact same one I offer to you today. It's a journey from emptiness and guilt to forgiveness and life. It's a journey from seeing all things as being against you to seeing me working all things for you.
This was never just about grain. It was always about grace. I used a famine to draw them, a confrontation to break them, and a promise to save them. And so it is with you. I will use the hungers and hardships of your life to draw you to myself, to reveal your need, so that you might finally receive my grace.
My son, Jesus, is your surety. He has paid your debt. He has offered himself in your place. The banquet is prepared and the invitation still stands. Do not linger in your famine. Come to me and live.